It was longer than two city buses, heavier than a Boeing 747, and more powerful than an aircraft carrier's engine room. Meet the Union Pacific Big Boy, the largest, heaviest, and most awe-inspiring steam locomotive ever built. A monster born to tame the Rocky Mountains, crush brutal grades, and haul America's economy across the frontier. Welcome to Train Explained, where we dive into the greatest machines ever to ride the rails. Today's episode is about the steam locomotive so massive it nearly broke the turntables. We'll explore how the Big Boy was designed, what made it such a marvel of mechanical engineering, how it operated, and why, despite its incredible power, it disappeared. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the Big Boy wasn't just a steam engine. It was a national symbol of ambition, innovation, and brute force. Let's fire it up. In the 1930s, Union Pacific Railroad faced a problem. Its route through the Wasatch Mountains in Utah, especially the stretch between Ogden and Green River, was a logistical nightmare. Long, heavy freight trains needed extra locomotives or helpers just to crawl up the steep grades. This slowed down schedules, increased costs, and required a lot of manpower. Union Pacific needed a single locomotive powerful enough to do the job of multiple engines, something strong enough to haul massive trains up steep grades without help and fast enough to stay on schedule. That's when UP went to ALCO, the American Locomotive Company, with a challenge. Build us the biggest, most powerful steam locomotive the world has ever seen. ALCO delivered. And what they built was something nobody had ever seen before. The result was the Big Boy, a locomotive so enormous and powerful that even the name had to be written in chalk on the smokebox during assembly. A shop worker casually scribbled "Big Boy" on the front, and the name stuck forever. Here are the jaw-dropping specs. Wheel arrangement, 4884, length, 132 feet, 9.25 inches, including tender. Weight, locomotive only, 762,000 pounds. Weight, with tender, over 1.2 million pounds. Tractive effort, 135,375 pounds. Horsepower, 6,290 horsepower at 41 miles per hour. Boiler pressure, 300 pounds per square inch. Driving wheels, 68 inches. Fuel, coal, 25 tons. Water, 25,000 gallons. Max speed, 80 miles per hour, but usually operated at 40 to 50 miles per hour. That 4-8-8-4 arrangement meant it had two sets of 8 driving wheels, each on its own articulated frame. This allowed it to bend around tight mountain curves despite being longer than most buildings. The Big Boy was essentially 2 locomotives under one boiler, but operated by a single crew. It was a super engine designed to devour mountains for breakfast. Inside, the Big Boy featured a monstrous firebox, large enough to fit a small car. It sat over a massive 4-wheel trailing truck and had an 85-square-foot grate area, one of the largest ever fitted to a locomotive. Feeding this firebox was a mechanical stoker, which used a screw conveyor to blast coal from the tender into the firebox, ensuring a consistent, blazing hot burn. Its boiler produced high-pressure steam that powered 4 enormous cylinders, 2 on each engine set. The rear engine was fixed to the frame, while the front set was articulated, allowing it to pivot and navigate curves. The power flowed to 68-inch drivers, smaller than those on high-speed passenger engines, but perfect for freight hauling torque. Add in superheaters, feed water heaters, an automatic lubricating system, and massive air brakes, and you've got one of the most mechanically advanced steam locomotives ever built. Between 1941 and 1944, Union Pacific received 25 Big Boys, numbered 4000 through 4024. They were based primarily out of Ogden, Utah, running freight over Sherman Hill and the Wasatch Range. Big Boys were assigned to heavy drag freight, including wartime military and industrial loads. They could haul trains of 3,600 to 4,000 tons unassisted, no helpers required. In many cases, they replaced 3 smaller locomotives, reducing crew size, fuel stops, and time lost to switching operations. Crews loved the big boys. They were smooth, relatively fast for their size, and easy to control once mastered. But they weren't for the faint of heart. Handling one required deep knowledge of boiler management, steam pressure, and throttle control. When properly managed, a big boy could hit 60 miles per hour, with over 100 loaded freight cars in tow. They were the kings of the mountains. Despite their incredible capabilities, the big boy had a problem: the future. By the late 1940s and early 1950s, diesel-electric locomotives were taking over. They were cheaper to run, easier to maintain, capable of multiple unit control, cleaner, and didn't need massive water and coaling facilities. Union Pacific began retiring its steam locomotives in the 1950s. The last big boy ran in regular service in 1959. Just 18 years after the first unit hit the rails, the big boy era was over, but the legend was just beginning. Out of the original 25 big boys, 8 have been preserved. They're scattered across the U.S., drawing rail fans from all over the world. Here's where you can find them. 1. UP 4004, Cheyenne, WY2. UP 4005, Denver, CO3. UP 4006, St. Louis, Missouri 4. UP 4009, Pomona, California 5. UP 4012, Steamtown, Scranton, Pennsylvania 6. UP 4017, Green Bay, WN7. UP 4018, Frisco, TX8. UP 4014, operating and restored. Yes, you heard that right. One of them lives. In 2013, Union Pacific stunned the world by announcing it had acquired Big Boy number 4014 from a museum in Pomona, California. The goal? A full restoration to operating condition. The move was ambitious. No big boy had run in over 60 years. But UP's steam team in Cheyenne made it happen. After 6 years of intense restoration, in 2019, UP 4014 roared back to life, becoming the only operating big boy in the world. Today, it serves as a moving ambassador for Union Pacific and American railroad history, appearing at special events and drawing tens of thousands of spectators wherever it runs. At over 1.2 million pounds of steam-powered glory, it's the largest operating steam locomotive on Earth. Let's compare the big boy to some other famous locomotives. Chesapeake and Ohio H8. Allegheny, more tractive effort, 160,000 pounds, but heavier and less versatile, Norfolk and Western Class A. Powerful, but smaller and more limited to specific routes, PRRT. 1 duplex. Faster and more advanced, but plagued by reliability issues. UP Challenger 4-6-6-4, a direct predecessor to the big boy. Smaller, but still very capable. Bottom line, the big boy was the perfect blend of size, speed, and reliability. While other engines might have been more powerful in theory, none had the big boy's blend of versatility, range, and engineering elegance. It wasn't just the biggest. It was one of the best-designed heavy freight locomotives ever built. The big boy has transcended railroading. It's become a pop culture icon. You'll find it in model train sets, books, documentaries, and museum exhibits. Railroad simulators like Train Simulator and Run 8 toys, puzzles, and even Lego sets. Railfan YouTube channels like Train Explained. It represents a time when American industry aimed higher, thought bigger, and built with no compromise. Kids who watched it thunder by in the 1940s now bring their grandkids to see 4014 in action. It's not just a machine, it's a memory made of steel. So why does the big boy still capture imaginations? Because it symbolizes human achievement. The idea that we can solve the impossible with engineering. Faced with mountains, freight demands, and impossible timetables, the Union Pacific didn't settle. They built something insane, and it worked. It teaches us that sometimes bigger is better. That sometimes pushing the envelope is worth it, and that great design can stand the test of time. Thanks for watching Train Explained. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Union Pacific Big Boy, please hit that like button, subscribe for more, and let us know in the comments, what's your favorite steam locomotive of all time? And if you've seen Union Pacific 4014 in person, tell us what it was like. Until next time, keep your eyes on the rails. And remember, some legends never fade.